So I'm going to saute the pork cubes. I bought a shoulder of pork, and I boned it out. I cooked the skin with the fat to render it down in order to make pork fat. And I don't need a lot in there because the meat has plenty of fat on it. So that's plenty. And we're going to brown the meat. I made packages of 1 pound packages, about 4 or 5. So if I want to make a recipe using this for this item, there's the meat. If I want to make it a recipe maybe to grind up the pork, it's all ready to be ground. Cooked with beans, that's all ready. And the bone made the best stock because of the marrow. And I'll just show you. When you have a good stock, whether it be chicken, beef, or any kind, when you have the soup has gelled, look at that, like so, all natural, then you know you have a delicious stock. And no aspic was added to that. That is natural. Anyway, so we're going to just saute this a little bit. I'm going to put some garlic in there, and none of the vegetables into the soup until it's almost done, because I want them somewhat al dente. So we have salt. This really doesn't have to be added now because it's a soup, but I did it. And pepper will be half the amount of that. So that was a teaspoon. Now we'll put a half a teaspoon of pepper. This is kind of, the lo mein noodles are going to be cooked in here, so you think it's Asian. So in a way it's similar because I'm not using any of the typical Asian vegetables or Chinese vegetables that I've used in other recipes like bok choy, bean sprouts, snap peas. I'm using everything that I have at home without going shopping. So, that's going to just cook up a little. It doesn't have to be brown. I don't want the soup to look very dark, because it will have a little tamari sauce in it, a little balsamic vinegar, and the stock is not pure white, it's a little off. So what I'm concerned about is that it will have a nice flavor. And with the pork here and with that delicious stock that cooked in my slow cooker for like almost 2 days. But of course I had to cut the bone up with my sawzall in order to release the marrow. And now we're going to add some garlic. Everything I have here is like ready already. This is my garlic that I coarsely chopped after I peel like 6 heads. Put it with olive oil and throw it in the freezer. So that's about a tablespoon. And then I'm going to pour into there oh, does that smell good? You put garlic on anything, it smells good. Now we will put the stock. So this is going to be for 2 people, and it's not going to be a lot of soup. Don't cooking the lo mein noodles in there, and it's not like a regular soup that's going to be full of soup. There'll be less soup. And there goes 1 cup of that beautiful stock. And there's another cup. And that should do it. That's going to cook down. And the rest of the stock I'll put in the freezer until I find something that needs pork stock. And there are plenty of items. So that's good, that amount. Then I'll bring this to a boil and then simmer it for, what, an hour and a half until the meat is done. Then throw in the vegetables, the lo mein, and the soup will be done. All right, let me add the, what I wanted to use was black vinegar, but I don't have any. So a good substitute for it, or one of the substitutes, is balsamic vinegar. So let me put that in now, splashed on the floor. And also the ginger. And this is what I've been using lately. It's great stuff. Refrigerate it after you open it, and you're in ginger heaven for who knows how long. So that takes care of, this way the flavors of those items will get into the meat. Surprisingly, the pork only took 1 hour and it's tender. Not falling apart like if you were making shredding for sloppy joe or something, but it is firm. Now we're going to add the onions, the celery, the green pepper, and this is not going to take long now because the vegetables don't have to be soft. What I have to be is cooked. So that'll be about another minute. And now I'm getting ready. Then I'll put the lo mein noodle in there. Don't forget, this is for 2 people. And then after the lo mein, about a few minutes, then we're going to add a little cornstarch to give it body, and scallions or parsley. And since I didn't go shopping and I happen to have fresh parsley in the refrigerator, that's what I'm using. I thought the pork was going to take much longer because it took longer when I made a stew. But then boiling something is quicker. And this is delicious before I added anything to it. Why? Because of the stock made from the pork bone. I've made stock from pork neck bones, but that's entirely different. You need the marrow for the flavor. It is so tasty. You could put chicken stock, but it's not the same. Sorry. So this is ready to have the lo mein. And this won't take long. I'm going to put the lid on it just to keep the steam in there. And in 1 second I'm going to take it off. A little bit more time with the lid on there. Then I'll add the carrot, the scallions. I would have much rather made this with bok choy, you know, your usual Chinese vegetables that you use, but this is going to be delicious. Okay. Now I'm going to get this slurry ready. So there's the cornstarch. Into this, which happens to be a half a tablespoon, I'm going to put a half a tablespoon of cold water. And then with your finger, because you can't use a utensil, you need to feel that it's smooth. People have been using their fingers for thousands of years. So we'll just continue. That takes care of that. Now you have to do this because within a couple of minutes the cornstarch will lay on the bottom of this, and then you'll have to remix it. I'm just going to take one noodle out to see how far we have to go before it's done. Not far at all. So now I'll add the carrots. I don't have to add any more seasoning, except I'm going to give it a shot. It's either sriracha hot chili sauce or cayenne pepper or some crushed pepper flakes. So it's up to you. I will just take a few of these, and I mean a few because I'm not the only one eating this. See how much, what I got there? That's it. I remember one time I went for pizza, and I usually don't drink when I eat pizza or any food until I'm done. And then even then I don't. That's how I was raised. Fill up with food, not with liquid. I had this pizza, 2 slices, and I sprinkled some crushed pepper flakes all over. I didn't realize I put too much. My eyes are tearing as I'm eating it in a booth in a little pizzeria years ago, and I couldn't get up and ask for a drink because I was so embarrassed my eyes were tearing. Anyway, that's the end of this. I'm going to lower the flame and slowly drizzle in. Let me make sure it's still nice. Drizzle in the cornstarch. See how things change once you put a thickening agent into something? So, and I think this was the right amount of just. Well, see, the green peppers are still green. That's why I put them in late. And of course the flavor comes out of the green pepper immediately. And then the chopped parsley or scallions, which I would prefer. And then and that is that. It's not too thick, not too thin, just right. So my guess on the amount of celery was correct. And now this is my dinner tonight. We just shut it off, cover it, and in a few hours, just heat it up and serve. How simple. Enjoy.